For a short period of time, UnknownxArmy was the most dominant Fortnite player, winning 7 solo cash cups and even winning an FNCS title. But what if I told you that just a year after his incredible success, he seemingly disappeared without a trace? Well, that's exactly what happened. And to figure out the truth behind his rapid decline, let's go back to the beginning, when he was born on March 22nd, 2004. Dominic UnknownxArmy Green didn't have the typical childhood. While most kids were playing sports or focusing on school, Unknown was consumed by video games. From an early age, it was clear that video games weren't just a hobby for him. There was an obsession. He spent countless hours perfecting his skill in video games like Call of Duty, CSGO, and Minecraft. Unlike his peers, Unknown had a natural talent for gaming, so when Fortnite was released to the public in 2017, it was perfect for Unknown. It didn't take long for Unknown to realize that Fortnite wasn't just a game, it was an opportunity. With the game basically being a mixture of Call of Duty and Minecraft, it made total sense for Unknown to fall in love with the game. From the beginning, Unknown had a competitive drive for becoming the best, and since there weren't any tournaments like we know today, he spent his time playing kill races. These tournaments were very popular back then, and winning just one of them could earn you thousands of dollars. After grinding these for over a year, Unknown finally had enough money to switch from console over to PC. This was just in time for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers, marking the beginning of what would become the most significant event in Fortnite's history. Players from all over the world had a chance to compete for a share of $30 million, with the finals set to take place in New York City. For Unknown, this was an opportunity of a lifetime. While most players are grinding scrims to work on their end games, Unknown took a different approach. He played creative and arena all day, becoming one of the best fighters in the game, but it was now time to see if his hard work would pay off. In the first World Cup qualifier, he placed in a respectable 21st, but 2 weeks later, he would make history. He placed second, securing his ticket to New York to compete for a $30 million prize pool. On top of this, he was guaranteed $50,000, and he was the first controller player in the world to qualify for the World Cup. But he qualified much differently compared to everyone else. 40 of his 67 points came from kills, which was never seen before. He didn't even win a game, but still finished in second. One of the main factors that led to the success was due to an exploit he found from sitting in creative. The exploit was ramp phasing. Although everyone knows about this now, back then no one did. He would L2 spam his opponents to get a health advantage, then phase into their box, leaving his opponents lost. Although he was dominant in solos, he failed to qualify for the Duo World Cup. He managed to place 26th in week 10, but it wasn't enough. And in the World Cup finals, he finished in a disappointing 69th place. His W key playstyle wasn't able to work in a stacked set lobby. Regardless, he wasn't gonna let this stop him going into Season X, where he would win 3 out of the 6 solo cash cups, earning $20,000. By this point, people began to realize how good Unknown was. Because of this, he began to average around 300 viewers on Twitch. While Unknown was performing a masterclass in solos, he earned $13,000 in the true FNCS qualifiers, but in the grand finals, they placed 11th, which for a player of Unknown's caliber wasn't up to his standards. On October 15, 2019, Chapter 2 was released, and without knowing it at the time, this was the start of one of the most dominant runs in Fortnite history. Unknown had no plans of dudding grand finals again, and with more motivation than ever, he started off the season winning 3 solo cash ups, breaking multiple kill records. This was the start of Unknown's prime. The FNCS of the season was squads, and Unknown teamed up with Ronaldo, Avery, and Kez. No one expected this team to do well, but Unknown had other plans. In the qualifiers, they placed 29th, 7th, 17th, and 5th, which easily secured their spot into the heats, which they won, qualifying Unknown into the finals. Going into the grand finals, Unknown's squad was by no means a favorite to win. Most people expected Zate, Booga, or Macwood's squad to win, but nobody knew what was really gonna happen.
Let's go! Avery, you're the only one alive. Do it, please.
Unknown and his squad won the grand finals, earning $190,000. If there were stats back then on who had the most damage, I'm positive that Unknown had more damage than his team combined. Unknown would run a Spaz and an AUG every game by upgrading at Slurpy Swamp because his team was confident in Unknown's ability to get refreshes. He was a force to be wrecked with. By this point, Unknown was averaging 10,000 viewers on Twitch because everyone wanted to watch him win tournaments. And because of how dominant Unknown was, people began to complain about how broken aim assist was. This was due to clips of Unknown doing things like this.
I'm OD right now. I'm filming. Yo.
Beat them.
Yeah, I knocked one. Right there. I just one-headshot him.
People began to say that Unknown was carried by aim assist, so he decided to play a solo cash cup on keyboard and mouse to prove everyone wrong, and that's what he did. He placed 5th in the cash cup on keyboard and mouse, which made everyone never question him again. And at the end of the season, he won 2 more solo cash cups. Unknown's aim and piece control was completely unmatched. In just one season, Unknown won $67,000, and you can even argue that Unknown started piece control. He was ahead of every single player of this time. You would think from here Unknown would continue to dominate, but this was the start of his downfall. In Chapter 2 Season Season 2, Unknown would begin to receive cheating accusations. In February of 2020 at the DreamHack Anaheim LAN, Unknown failed to make it past heats, where you only needed to place top 200 out of 800 players. Considering that Unknown was in his prime, people began to question why Unknown performed so bad at in-person events. But we'll get back to this later. Once he got home from DreamHack, Epic Games made an announcement that would end Unknown's career. Unknown always L2 spammed the legacy aim assist settings, which was completely broken. However, there was a few issues with the legacy aim assist settings, one of them being able to lock onto opponents through bushes as shown here.
If you guys want my Twitter,
Oh my god!
Because of this, Epic Games removed the legacy aim assist settings and added the linear and exponential aim assist settings as a replacement. It didn't seem like a major issue at the time, but this was career ending. The FNCS of the season was duos, so Unknown decided to play with Ronaldo. As the previous season's FNCS winners, expectations were high, but in the end, the pressure would get to them as they finished in a disappointing 37th place out of 50 teams. Following this, he managed to win a solo cash cup and a duo cash cup, but these would be his last tournament wins ever. In the solo invitational that same season, he placed 11th. Although this wasn't bad, considering what Unknown had accomplished in the previous season, it was nothing. In Chapter 2 Season 3, the FNCS was solos and Unknown failed to qualify for the grand finals. Over the next few seasons, Unknown was slowly losing his passion for Fortnite and he was never able to return to his true self. This was because Fortnite began to feel like a job rather than a hobby, and because of this, he began to sell out. During this time, it was the crypto and NFT peak era, so he promoted these on his Twitter, earning tens of thousands of dollars. Although it wasn't ethically right, I'm sure most teenagers would have done the same. And on top of this, Unknown's Twitter and YouTube account were banned as promoting this content is against terms of service. And after a few months of disappearing from his community, he made a massive mistake on his stream.
Show your PC in the next 5 seconds. I'm not using it. It's right here. I'm not using it, bro. Y'all can't respect me?
For those of you who don't know what that is, it's a Cronus Zen, which enables controller players to have increased aim assist, zero recoil, and a ton of mods. Using this device is against Fortnite's terms of service, and following the stream, people began to speculate that Unknown cheated using a Zen throughout his entire career. Although aim assist was very strong back then, Unknown's aim was unmatched. People began to say that the reason for Unknown's horrible performances at in-person events was because he couldn't use a Zen. But at the end of the day, this is all just speculation, as there isn't proof that he actually used the Zen to win tournaments. There was a ton of controller players back then who used the Zen, so it's definitely possible. Regardless, during his prime, his skill was completely unmatched. He was seasons ahead of everyone due to his fighting. Nowadays, there's not really much information about what Unknown is up to, but he has played some tournaments here and there, one of them being as recent as 2 weeks ago for fun with his friends. Feel free to let me know in the comments below if you think Unknown cheated. But if you want to watch a video similar to this one, feel free to click on this video.